Hello, Darius. How you doing today? What's going on? How is everybody doing? Work. Hi, Bella. How are you? Hello, Drajan. How you doing, guys? Yeah, I remember that I responded to you on Instagram. You are working, Joseph. Okay. Laser CNC. Hello, how are you doing? I'm doing great. How is everybody doing? So, yes, we're gonna talk a little bit for domestication of the dog. New video we waiting. Yeah, it will come. Maybe today I will finish about new video. Cause it's not so easy to make a new content. You know that materials, bring it all together. And how is the weather in your place? This is excellent topic today. Yeah. It's a good topic. It's I think we need to discuss in more details about this topic. I have made a video which has the reference, all the argument, the fact about the domestication of dog for everybody that needs better view, better information from the start, or from even from the evolution of the dog. What is the evolution? Oh, the Macedonia gangster said little bit colder here in Strumica. Yeah, I believe it's cold here in Boston too. It's really cold. Today a little bit sunny day, but a few days ago was snow and low temperature. Yeah. Okay, let's talk a little bit. I'm gonna give some information about the domestication of dog, how, when, and where happened. So, if you don't mind, guys, just give me some heart, give me some support. Let me increase the live stream, and we're gonna start discussing about the domestication of dog, which is very important topic. Okay, I'm gonna start by talking about the domestication of dog. So the domestication of dog, it happened in many places, but the oldest time of domestication of dogs is Central Asia and the south part of Siberia. Those are the two places that show the domestication of proto-wolf dog based on the archaeological evidence and the mitochondrial DNA tested. If we see and we go back in that territory, the skeleton of the proto-wolf dog, the dog like a wolf. What does it mean, proto-wolf dog? It means the first dog, the first one, the first exemplar. They come from the gray wolf of Eurasia. It comes from that. So how it happened? So during the period of hunter and gatherer in those territory, the leftover food attract those wolf dog, attract those wolf, and they started to come often in the settlement because of the leftover food, and they start to show no fear about human, and the human, the other side showed the same to them. So they start to approach more and more to create a bond with those first wolf. After that, they start to be part of the human life of the hunter and gatherer, and they change the behavior. So they was feeding by the people, by the hunter and gatherer, and the dog, because of the change of the behavior, started to change it too, not just in the physical way. So they show up a different behavior toward the human, and the different behavior and the different started to present completely or a little change in the anatomy, in the physical anatomy. They start to keep those wolf and those proto-wolf dog for one purpose. They serve to the human as a guardian against other wild animal. They show protective instinct, and there was, sorry about this. Okay, hold on. Let me turn off this notification. And they started to participate in the hunting. When the hunter and gatherer go to hunt animals, wolves were part of them. Those wolves were part of them. And during the period of time, the animals started to change because they start to change the environment, they start to change the behavior, be more polite. There is an experiment that proved that it's done by the Russian scientist of domestication of fox. And why I bring it this, because this domestication of fox show up similarity how the domestication of wolf happened. Why? And I'm gonna bring it this to show the change in physique, in the physique of the animal for a long period of time. The first that it will change, it will be the behavior, and after this, because of the change of the environment, change of the behavior, the animal started to change in physique too. And during this experiment of the fox started to change and started to pronounce a curly tail. Okay, so I'm gonna respond to the question, guys, and but a little bit later. I'm gonna finish a little bit the domestication, and after the hunter and gatherer, we have the ancient farmers of Anatolia. Basic on the DNA, the oldest DNA in nowadays dogs is, the oldest one is dingo and the Tibetan Mastiff. But we should not forget that we had some proto-wolf dog, or the dog like wolf, wild one. I'm not talking about the new hybrids but I'm talking about the real wolf dog. In territory of Japan, in territory of Siberia, which those exemplar was hunted by the hunter in the medieval time and in the modern time as a wolf. So they hunted them because they was attacking farm animals, and almost those some exemplar they didn't survive for different reasons. First of all, uh, they were individual, independent, operating independent that has to deal with a lot of predator and a lot of rivalry against the wolf, so they did not survive. That's why that we don't have too much evidence. But I think I have a picture in my content that show very well of a wolf dog picture from Japan. It's an old one. I don't remember very well what year is. Was the last exemplar. Different from dingo, so was very similar to the gray wolf. And if we see because of the agriculture in the Asia territory, from this guardian and hunting dog, from this guardian and hunting dog, people need it not just to be guardian of people, but to guard the livestock because of the attack of the wild animals. So nomadic dogs, which came from Central Asia and the Fertile Crescent territory in Anatolia, because of this agriculture developed in this territory in river of Tiger and Euphrates, they took those dogs and they give this profile as livestock guardian dog, not just as a real watchdog for human and from livestock. We have evidence of domestication of proto-wolf dog in Europe too, in Germany, which they believe it that was the oldest one, but the new evidence show up that the south part of Siberia and Central Asia is the most reliable proof of domestication of dog. We have to understand that because of the hunter-gatherer movement from Asia to Europe and vice versa, we're gonna have those archaeological evidence about this. But basically this was, and after they start to breed, they breed the first one. The breeding of dogs was in Fertile Crescent. That was the first one that established breeding of livestock animal, including dogs, to profilize for a profession, profilize them for a different task, and for hunting too. It was one of the advanced moment of dog breeding. But for more details, for more proofs, I have made a video, so you can just go watch the video there. Let's say the domestication of dog, and it's go further than this. It go further to the predecessor before the wolf. Before the wolf, it's like pretty much like evolution, where those animals came from some other mammal, the predecessor of other animal. Yes, it's Purophagus. Pichion to Cynodixit. So you just go and check them. In the end, they will say that the God created domestic animal and wild animals. Yes, for sure about that God created, but the human played a part too. I'm talking basic on the evidence and what the science has give information about that. If there is another proof, I'm an open mind to listen. But right now we have those proof, and the domestication of animal, 90% of them, of the farm animal, happened in the Anatolia, in the Fertile Crescent territory. And the different breed that we have today come from breeding different traits in dog, doing the breeding, doing the inbreeding, those, and people start to select those genetic in dogs, what they preferred for different reasons, for maybe for hunting, because one of them people used to, the first one was hunting, one of the most oldest sport, used to be for survivor, for the hunter and gatherer, and after they keep it that old instinct and turn it to be in the sport, even in the ancient period of time. I'm not talking about just hunter and gatherer, but even in the ancient civilization, the aristocracy of the royalty go all the time to hunt animals, and they keep dog as a support during the hunting. You say those proto-wolf dog existed in different places with different people, so different type dog evolve. No, it's not that different type of dog evolve. We don't have different type of dog. Proto-wolf dog, has one physique, which is the dog that has the appearance like a wolf, very similar to the wolf, and come from the gray wolf. The domestication evidence, archaeological evidence that we see in the different part of world, show up the migration of population, the migration of hunter and gatherer from Asia to Europe. People all the time has the tendency to migrate, and especially it's very often east to the west. It's very, very often migration of the population. Almost, if you go back, domestication of animal started in Asia, spread in Europe and other places. The belief started in Asia. So are those territory, are they blessed? I don't know why they come from them, but almost the genesis of stuff, I'm talking in the ancient time, they spread from those territory. Different types of breed are not because all the proto-wolf dog came from the gray wolf. It's the human selection and human breeding type and technique that come in the different shape and form of the dog. Selecting mutation, selection, different exotic traits, which they call exotic trait, but in fact they are mutation that the animal can produce. If they change the environment, if they change the behavior, you're gonna see physical change a lot. Funny things is we still migrate all over still today. It's not funny thing, it's inhuman. Anthropogenes. It's in instinct. Animal migrate too. So you have to understand. Not just human migrate, but even animal migrate too. They do a seasonal migration. Bird do the seasonal migration. The mammal do the seasonal migration. Almost every time. Every year they do this migration. Okay. And in Siberia, they found a frozen puppy in that. They found a frozen puppy and they did the DNA. And actually was not a real wolf, but it showed up that was a proto-wolf dog. So it is good because in those areas where those archaeological evidence remain frozen, give us better view because the ice has a good ability to save the carcass, not to decompose. That's why, to prevent from decomposition. Can you give us some example of genetic mutation in dogs? How it come them to produce different type of dog? Okay. One of them is inbreeding. Inbreeding all the time gives some error in genetic. When you do, what is inbreeding? Inbreeding is the same thing like in chest in human. And they give those stuff. And especially when you start to select the first exemplar with show up those genetic mutation, different genetic mutation, when you mix them together, do the inbreeding. This was the technique to select different type of dog. And after what they do is just amplifying by breeding. That's why we have the variety of the different breed. But we have variety of the different farm animals too. So every time that a mutation show up, the breeders or the farmers achieve to select those genetic mutation. They achieve those selection, those genetic mutation. They have the open hands to do that. You cannot do that in human, for example. You cannot do that in human. Look, the environment show a huge impact in animal. Changing the environment, changing the behavior, you're gonna see different because it's not just the mentality of animal, but even in physique animal will change. Even human, if they change in mentality, we're gonna see even physically change. I saw the picture of it. For example, in human, you have some traits, physical traits, like the Neanderthal people, which are not so often, are rare, but they show up time after time. Time after time, those. You see those Neanderthal physique on them. For example, thick bone skeleton. You see even the forehead of them. It's very changeable, completely with normal people. So those bones, for example, are very pronounced. For example, goosebumps. So those genetic changeable, or sometimes the nature, the environment will show up, because genetic it's not fully disclosed as a science. It's very complex. The DNA it's very complex. The error that the DNA sometimes made express in human, express in animal. So the proto-wolf dog was changed in two different directions. The first direction was a hunting dog, and the other direction was the watchdog or the livestock guardian dogs. Even the first livestock guardian dog pretend to be with the erect ears, not with the floppy ears, not with the hanging ears. Hanging ears is a mutation. I know what you mean by more pronounced face of the people. Yes, you have those. So the Neanderthal, for example, did not survive. But the genetic of the Neanderthal very often show up in people. And we got the land race dog. Yes. We got those land race dog. From the hunting dog, or from the selection of this proto-wolf dog, hunting dog, we had it three main branch. The killer hound, the greyhound, and the sight hound. No, wait, the scent hound, the sight hound, and the killer hound, because greyhound is a sight hound dog. You call a sniff dog, it's scent hound, to use the scent of smell to track the animal. From those killer hound, we have those mastiff dog, we have the bulldogs. That's what we have from those dogs. And after completely different type of breed, because of the human experiment with breeding selection, inbreeding. Dogs with folding ears are prone of ear infection and such because of not enough air that flow bacteria to grow. I have not had this problem with livestock guardian dog. It is prone of ear infection. It predisposes ear infection, and it's very give a slowdown healing from the ear infection if the dog has the folding ears. Even in the Fertile Crescent, if you go and watch the video of Domestication of Dog that I have done, you see a sculpture, people with those dog with erect ears too. And in the Fertile Crescent, you have evidence, and not just one evidence, of those wolfish dog like a wolf. And just by domestication of dog, I'm showing the domestication of fox and what's happened. Victor Ray. My name is Yes of Second Victor. This is my name. I'm from Bangalore. You get your good name. What do you mean? I don't understand your English. So I have a question. Who is the moderator in this live? Who is moderate the live chat? Continue on dog domestication topic, please. What else do you need to do? Make a little bit more interesting, make a question. Your good name. You don't even know my name. So the first time that we see the different breeding of dogs, it is the Fertile Crescent territory, the Mesopotamia. Yes, that's the killer hound was prophylized and breed in those territory in Fertile Crescent. You have those dogs carving in those old archaeologic in those territory. You have those killer hound. How did they select the gameness? They selected by when they go for hunting and exemplars show the performance that was a hard prey drive, bravery. They start to select those exemplar and start to breed those, did inbreeding to select those traits in the dog. This is how they select. Select, test, select, test. We all got silence like when a teacher asks in the class who know the lesson. No, I'm just telling you guys to make a question. Because if you make a question, you just make a question and I'm gonna be able to respond. Which country, which country, which country, which country? Okay. This is something that he want to troll. Let's ignore this person. It doesn't make sense. When they go to hunting, they follow the experience which dog is the best for the job. So some dogs are better search, other better attackers and catcher. That's what I'm talking about. So they just tested those dogs. They saw how the dog perform and they select those exemplar, then they breed those exemplar. And they did in inbreeding. And inbreeding, for some reason, is the fast way to select the traits beyond the error that gave, beyond the healthy issues and this and that. The inbreeding is the most reliable way to select the traits that you like in the parents. Because what you are doing, you're doing the short cycle. So you try to isolate those genes that you want in the puppies, in F1, F2, F3. You want this, and you do. Hello, bro. Which breed is better for home protection, Volkodov or Pitbull dogs? Oof. If the hold on a second. If the Volkodov, for example, show aggressive behavior toward human, and it's a good protection dog, yes. If it shows that he is very nice with other people, but aggressive with animals, it means that Volkodov cannot serve you. And the vice versa, it's the same for the Pitbull. If he is very lovely with people, he will not be a good guardian dog. So dogs that have those aggression toward human, they can protect your house. Did they inbreed tied like brother and sister, father and daughter? Yes, they did like that. And they still doing in those days too. Inbreeding was one of the main reasons that we have different breeds. Was the main technique that create those genetic isolation. And heritage those genes in offsprings. Macedonia, I only want pitbull type dogs. Yeah, the band dog that show aggression are very good guardian dog, but they are very dangerous too. You have to be a little bit careful with them. Be a little bit careful with them. But pit intimidate looks and reputation will chase away intruders. Yes, but not all of the time. If the pit that you have is very kind with people. He gonna just play. So you must select those guardian behavior in those dogs, which will doesn't allow the foreign people, the intruder, to come. They are not friendly with them. Those dogs are very good for home protection. But for home protection, you can find a lot of different breeds. They can do this job very well. It's not just a Volkodov, it's not just the American Pitbull Terrier. It can be a Rottweiler, it can be a German Shepherd, the Belgian Shepherd, the Doberman. I want real Pitbull, not mixed breed with Stafford. You can find those. It's not hard to find. There are, for example, in China, huge farm that breed American Pitbull Terrier. Very huge farm. Huge kennel. I never saw such a huge kennel before. Unusually fighting Pitbull Terrier love people, so they have to be guarded by other dogs so they don't get stolen. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. If you want a original American Pitbull Terrier, they are very friendly with them, and you know that a lot of people will come and steal your dog. He's not a dog that can be like this. Sky Boo, I have a Barbato for guardian property. Is the best I could ever ask for. Yes, there are completely few options that you can get a dog for guardian. There are many options. You are free. You can get the Caucasian of Charka, for example. They are famous as a guardian dog. Very famous one. As the guardian of home, they are tremendous good. A good friend of mine has fighting American Pitbull, and he has few Cane Corso to guard the Pitbull from thief. That's what I'm talking about. Those are not they are too polite with people. But some bad dogs are very dangerous. Some band dogs are very, very dangerous. Showline is excellent from Red Star. Yes, those are very good. Both Red Star line and Show line, they have those guardian instinct. But you cannot keep in the warm place. Especially the Show line, it will suffer a lot. It is not pit work to guard. They created for, yes. So American Pit Bull Terrier is not to be the guardian dog. It can be. Some dog has that because American Pit Bull Terrier is a masterpiece, but because of breeding for this purpose, for hunting and combat, they put down, especially in America, they put it down the dog that show human aggression, or what they call the man biter. They put down those exemplar. They didn't breed those exemplar so often because they needed to shut down this behavior toward human. Because if you see, those dog is very dangerous, honestly. Those dog is not, for example, like a guardian dog. He gonna bite you one time to warn you, to keep you, to push you away from the property. No, he doesn't work like that. It's a very dangerous dog. If he starts something, he want to finish. That's the risk of having those dogs as a guardian. Hard dominant dog. A lot of people think Pitbull is 70 to 80 pound dogs. This weight is off the bully tape. No. No. No, 70 to 80 pounds. Less, but you have some barn dogs that come from China, some giant Pitbull that are in those range that you mentioned. What they did, they use, for example, a Mastiff like a Tosa or something like that. They mix with a female Pitbull. They get those offspring. They mix it with female Pitbull. Just to increase the size and to keep tight the genetic in the Pitbull. And those are monster dog. Monster, very dangerous one. Those barn dog from China are very dangerous one. Males should always be smaller in crossbreed. Yes. I'm gonna tell you something. Remember this. If you want the best genetic, and this is quite often, the female, remember this, the female in dogs has huge dominance genes which they give to the offspring. It is very important, the female, it's not just the male. If you have a bad dog, bad female dog, you're gonna get bad traits. You have very higher chance to get some bad offspring. The female is very important. People, I don't know, there are many people that just focus on the father of the puppy. No, focus on the female too. Because those small dogs that you think that are small, based on the experiment and experience, I saw that those small dog has very good dominant in the genes to heritage to the offspring. They have more dominant genes. I don't know why. It's very hard to explain. I'm not a genetic person, but what we have saw, the good dogs come from the small parent, not from huge parent. Remember this, good performance dog come from small parents, and it's very important, the female. And I will say that a female, it's more important than a male sometimes. It's very, very important. The XL Bulldogs, it's now banned England after many attacks on owners. Kenneth Williams. Yes. Yes. Those barn dogs you cannot trust. Those barn dogs you cannot trust. That's why I don't like the mixed dog. And especially when it is a mix with a Pitbull. I do not trust. I've told this in many live streams that I just don't like them at all. Barn dogs and Volkodov strongest breed. What do you think? No. But barn dogs are very dangerous one. Especially those Chinese barn dogs. I don't know. I've saw in China they do a lot of mix. They are creating some different dogs coming from China. One of the famous one, if you guys have saw, is the red Chinese red dog, which is like a cross between a Doberman with a German Shepherd, pretty much like that. I don't know why they doing, but they doing a lot of crossbreeding. You have huge dog farms in China, or you can call kennel call it's the same things. Huge, huge. When it says huge, huge, and you have the biggest dog market. There you're gonna find different kind of dog that you never saw before. Mix with different. They try everything. I don't know why they doing like this, but I'm telling you, watch, because those dogs will come in Europe and in United States. Watch them. They're gonna come soon. They are like a new exotic pet. I have never seen someone owning Bandog. There should be a reason. No, Bandog, I've saw them, I do not like. And the owner, for example, I'm talking about the professional dog man. And they told once one thing: we don't trust those dogs, especially in front of other people. They all the time they were very cautious with those dogs. I've seen band dogs, Central Asian Shepherd dog, crossed with Pitbull. I've saw Volkodov cross with a Pitbull. They are dangerous, and then in 90% of the time they show human aggressive behavior. So many bulldogs being bred and mixed into mutes by people with poor breeding knowledge these days. Yes, it is true, but you know that they breed them for those ugly purpose. So they abuse with dogs. They abuse a lot with dogs. Akita can be dangerous dog. I do not like Doberman dogs at all. But I know that's a preference. We have different preference about that. Depend of the purpose that you want. For example, yesterday I was out with the Doberman of my landlord. She was nice. She's old. But for example, with cats, with rabbit around here, with raccoon, she's very aggressive one. Question: how did they train dogs back in ancient days? For example, for protection or attacking human or obedience? I'm gonna be live again. Hold on a second, guys. Question: how did they train the dog back in the ancient day, for example, for protection or attacking human or obedience? Oh, they show those guardian instinct by themselves, and they just select those dogs. Are you familiar with the work of dog? Are you familiar with the work of dog historian David Hancock? I highly recommend it. I've heard, but I didn't read. I think he had made a book or something like that. But how ancient Romans trained the Canaan warrior to attack enemy and guard slave? They look, was not Roman. They did that in the Fertile Crescent first to attack. They was those killer hound, and the Roman, because I don't want to talk how they training them, because it's violent. That's why you just have to visualize and to know how they training, what they did with a slave. It's like that. So they use dog to attack those people. Was violent. That's why how they select those kind of dogs. They was the dog like pretty much like a Presa Canario today, or like a Dogo, huge mastiff, that they used to attack people. How they did it, it's very simple. They encourage when they attack people, and that's why. It's not a pretty stuff to explain, honestly, what they did. It's not a pretty stuff, but you have the basic, and you know how to do it, and you know what they did with slave in that time. He has made 100s, an amazing publication. I don't know about this Skybu. It's a lot of there an old breed like Alount and Bull base. Oh. Just send me a link in my Instagram or in my Facebook. I'm curious to see his work. Did the dog know it to command like sit down and come out? But they training them, so it's the training didn't start in the modern day, my friend. The training had started long period of time in the ancient time. They trained the dog to prophylise for a different task. Istos are a very dangerous dog. I will not say it's a very dangerous dog, but it's not dog for everybody. Thank me later. Send me the link and I will thank you later. Why not? Just send me the link. I'm curious to get to see, to read, to get more knowledge or something like that if I don't know something. But I know about Dalano or something. I have published Dalano's dogs, and the other name that you said about in the medieval time, because the dog does not exist anymore, those, but was like a predecessor of the bulldogs and or American Pit Bull Terrier, something like that. What about Karakachan dogs? Ilias Cherish. Karakachan dog. You're talking about the livestock guardian dog in Bulgaria, right? Carlos, George, hi Emiliano, hi Carlos, how you doing today? Do you have some documentaries about dogs to send me later on LG? Documentaries. I have videos, so you have just to watch about that for livestock guardian. I have made a lot of videos about that. I think that you have watched most of the video of me. Yes, Greece and Bulgaria. Yeah, it's a branch from the Aboriginal dog in the Balkan. Pretty similar to Sharplaninak or the landrace dog in the mountain of Shar. So, as exactly, yeah, I know this. But some great documentary or example about domestication dog and first proto dog. Oh, but the most deeply documentary, basic on the evidence and basic even to the evolution. I have just done it and it's in my channel. You just and it's a not short video, it's a long video. When I show every details, proofs, the sources. I have linked it in the description too. All the sources, all the proofs. You just go in the channel and you just watch the domestication of dog. It's the most accurate. Gather the information from every resource. You have it, every resource, evidence, reference in the link too. Or can you speak about was the selection after 3 hunting dog type and livestock guardian dogs? What do you mean with that, please? Just I didn't get it. After 3 hunting dogs types and livestock guardian. For sure that people go do that mixing all the time. People has experiment a lot with dogs. So what are the next dog after that? Some new types. What do you mean some new type? Be a little bit more specific in this question. Because those type of mixing dog you have even in nowadays. Those kind of outcross. So if you are talking about from the proto-wolf dog, what type of dogs come? I'm telling you, first one that come from those was hunting dog and livestock guardian dog. Those hunting dog of the proto-wolf separate in 3 branch: killer hound, sight hound, and scent hound. Those one. From the killer hound came the mastiff and the bulldogs. The bull mastiff and etc. etc. From the bulldog came the terrier. There is a scheme that show the origin of American Pitbull Terrier in the channel description. You go to the channel description, scroll down, and you're gonna see. Yes, but are those some new type, or that's all? The 3 type of proto hunting dogs and livestock dogs. Look, from those different type of dog, they do the cross over each other. They do like this all the time. The people did that in that period of time. That's why you have a different variety of dogs. They all the time mix breeds. I don't know, do you understand me or I don't understand the question, really? That's why we have a huge varieties of dog breed, because of this kind of mixing, breeding, inbreeding. That's why you have a lot of different breeds. Can you give me explain how the proto-herd type dogs came, like border collie? No border collie, my friend. It came like a proto-wolf dog, like a dog with erect ears. I don't understand, but I want you to explain later after those proto-wolf dog. Because even in the Sumerian archaeology foundation, and is in the history of dog breeding, you're gonna see those dog with erect ears. Those proto-wolf dog profilize well. They profilize well. The profilization of them happened in the Fertile Crescent in Anatolia. To have the livestock guardian dog, to have the watchdog. The first watchdog was the dog looked like a wolf. Okay, guys, today it will not be so long live stream because I have to do some personal stuff. I don't know, tomorrow I will be not, I think, but possibly in the weekend I'm gonna do another live stream, and during this day I'm gonna make a new content and publish in my channel. So stay tuned, watch it, enjoy it, comment, give your opinion. You are always free to give your opinion. You are always free to give a question. Herding dogs elaborate their traits throughout the century from the need of herdings, I think. Okay, bye bye, guys. I wish for all have a good day or a good night, depend of your time zones that you are. And thank you for being in this live stream. Bye, everybody.